Ah, what's up, good people? What's up? Hit the like button up. Hit the like button up. Now, let's get involved in this situation. Okay? Let's get involved in this situation. Because it needs to be clear, though it hurts to say. LeBron Ramon James is once again pulling the same feet he's been pulling. Okay? He's been pulling the same feet he's been pulling for years. Same routine, pulling the wolves over everybody's eyes and hoping to fool the general public. But from what we've seen, there has been a concentrated attack on LeBron. The people who normally would support him are running for the hills. Many of them are pretty much afraid of what is to come. Now, here's the thing about it. The support for LeBron that he normally has to give him that push going into the season is not there. Will we see it as the season builds up? But normally, throughout the summer, when the summer ends, they start the LeBron rollout. Like, here comes Bron, and here come the Lakers. There's been no real push for LeBron. There's this one picture that he put out himself of him lifting some weights. Normally, that comes with a rollout of LeBron's activities and how he's getting ready to change the game and moving in a new light, and no one's ready for Bron, and moving those circles. We hadn't been seeing that. Not from him. hmm So, yeah, there's tons of different reasons for situations to occur when you're dealing with this team, and especially this Los Angeles Lakers team, and all of the things that was done by yours truly, LeBron Ramon James. And you start saying to yourself, man, what's going on? What's happening? This is a guy who had made a podcast show to promote himself. Could you see Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant making a show to promote themselves? Kobe passed away, and you wanted to become Kobe Bryant. Y'all take his show detail, actually break down plays NBA show you the mind of basketball, the terminology, everything. Brought players on the show. Was able to teach the game. So you wanted to mimic that and make a generic version where whatever you say, everybody just agrees. Because God forbid if someone's on that platform say, well, that isn't correct. So you just get a bunch of talking heads together to agree with whatever ignorant statement you make. And you wonder why no one watches that show. But you're supposed to be the face of the league. No one watches Mind the Game. I mean, no one. Take, for instance, what was happening and going down with Darvin Ham. Let's go back to Darvin Ham because everyone says, oh my gosh, what a great job this new coach who comes in and does nothing has done. How many times have you heard JJ Rednick come in and they come up with all of these different terminologies that's surrounding him about how great he is? Huh? How many times was that terminology explored? All you heard about was how great. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, they didn't give Nate McMillan or Scotty Brooks any credit. They gave all the credit to JJ Rednick. No mention of his coaches who have head coaching experience for over 2-3 decades. They don't matter. But JJ Rednick do because he wears a fancy little suit. Darvin Ham, who took the team to the Western Conference Finals, his first year coaching. First year coaching the team, they get to the Western Conference Finals. The second season, they win the in-season tournament. Hell, this year they won it again. But they had to move on from Darvin Ham when he was just trying to get LeBron to buy in that we have to play a tempo offense. We can't play slow and win. It just can't happen. There's no way you're going to win championships playing that style of basketball. That's what people wanted to reiterate. Hmm? Now, no, these people are passing narratives around. Darvin Ham wasn't the problem. As you saw this year, the super smart coach and JJ Redneck, who had Luka Doncic on his team, had a much better team than Darvin Ham had. Only can get to the first round of the playoff and get sent home. It wasn't even competitive. Now, why is that narrative? It's consistent. What is the common denominator we have here? LeBron James. Everybody's like, oh, he got a LeBron is old joke. LeBron is old joke? Really? How is he old? Hmm? When is old in the NBA? So when they lose, man, LeBron is old, man. He can't do it by himself. He not by himself. He never was. So why he can't get it done? Jordan has Scotty. Yeah, but they won championships. They won 6. LeBron didn't have a player that was on the caliber of Scottie Pippen. Of course he had. It's just that now he's at the end of his rope. There's no more wiggle room for him. No sirree. This guy has removed coaches, general managers, made them go into therapy, have heart problems, stress levels. A general manager wins the first championship in 100 years in a city that never wins. You think he'd be honored? He was just glad it was over. That's how much he despised the LeBron James era. That's not coming from me. That's factual statements from the general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Griff, when they won the championship. He wasn't even happy. Could you imagine if they didn't win that game? Now, let's move on. As this scenario keeps getting worse and worse, we're starting to see LeBron James plummet down into a realm that he should never be in. But why is he there in the first place? He's the guy that can't get out of the spotlight. He wants it so bad. He doesn't know what to do if he's not in it anymore. What does his life become? You know, it's not about him being a pathetic human being. He turns around and brings this anguish towards his own son, brings his son into a situation that's not going to be favorable to him. He thought because he thinks he controls the media, everybody's going to take it easy on Bronny, which they did to a degree. Then they saw Bronny and said, hey, we got to talk about his game now. Enough about he didn't deserve to be drafted. Now that we're watching him, it's like, what are we watching? Now you get these people that want to ride the wave of Bronny James being a bum and say he a bum MFer. You know, you got some clowns that do that on YouTube. I never was that harsh on Bronny, and still isn't, because I don't really blame Bronny for this situation. Bronny is, just taking advantage of what he was given. So the fact that saying he's a bum MFer, I think that's a little bit far to say and call Bronny a bum. He's just not at the caliber of the players that are in the NBA. He's not NBA caliber. He's not to be on that court. No, he hadn't earned that spot. So that's my only gripe with it. Now, Bronny would bust probably 90% of everybody who's talking about him ass on the court. But he's not playing against us. He's playing in the NBA. And they was like, look what he did in the G League. Yeah, but what was he playing in the G League? These are other guys that are not in the league or on the same level. I mean, Swaggy P was putting up 50s and 60s in G League. This is a known fact. People, players who are NBA players know how to score and do all these different things. Well, hopefully they change the atmosphere that surrounds the situation completely. How you doing, sir? Well, the atmosphere is different because the way we look at success or how we view progress, and said, hey, we're making good progress here. The way we do that and the way we channel everything that we do, we're putting everything at risk. We're we're putting our credibility on the line. So when we talk about it from a perspective of reality, not what's going to be trending on social media. It's trending that Bronny's a bum, so we're just going to say he's a bum. And those same clowns that are doing that will be the ones that turn all the way around. They'll be the ones that turn all the way around and say, if Bronny start playing well this season, they'll be like, well, Bronny stepped his game up, so we got to give it to Bronny now. He was a bum, but then he stepped it up. They'll be the same one to pivot because they're going to follow whatever the social media Twitter trend is, because they want to stay in the algorithm. So they'll fake it. To call Bronny a bum in 1-2 years is not fair to Bronny. He's just not at the caliber. His father's a bum. He's had time to prove what he is. That's a bum. Now, his son hasn't had that opportunity. He's just not good enough to be on that court. Doesn't mean he's a bum. Compared to the other NBA players, they may consider him a bum or just not at that level. But he's still in the developmental stage. LeBron, he's still developing at 23 years of the league. That's a bump. He says what? 24, 7, 8, year 22. Gone to year 25. Like, how could that be a bum? All right, Bronny is bum-ish. No, he's not a bum yet at all. Right now, he's just a kid that's trying to figure it out. When do you call a 19, 20-year-old kid a bum? Did I call LeBron a bum when he came in the league? No. Did I call LeBron a bum his first 6, 7 years? No. He didn't become a bum until his Miami years. That's when I started calling him a bum. I was giving him grace. No, it's just a matter of principle. You know, when people do things, they have a principle to doing it. You ever hear that when somebody say, "Hey, it's the principle." It's the principle. This isn't Bronny's fault. It's not Bronny's situation. His father introduced him to this. So now this guy, who's the end all be all of the conversation, has brought Bronny into all this scrutiny. This man tried to get Stephen A. Smith fired and removed. I told you he was doing that behind the scenes. You didn't believe it now to Stephen A., who strategically used this moron's platform to say that instead of his own. Smart. That's a smart strategic move. You go on a platform, you show up and do it over there. Why wouldn't you do this on the Stephen A. Smith show? Why wouldn't you do that on ESPN? Because you know better. But you could do it on that idiot's platform. He'll love it. He'll give his show some attention. And besides, why that idiot went on the show? Oh, must got to clear that with Underdog. Well, Stephen A. made himself look like a fool going up there saying that. But we'll talk about that later. How much do LeBron have left? Does he have one more season? See, what you guys don't know is year 23. LeBron is not your average 40-some-year-old man. This is guy taking supplements. This is a guy that's working out. He has nutritionists. He has all these things going on with him. But here's the thing. You can have all of that, but you're still in your 40s. You never have fast feet. Your feet are slow. You don't move your legs well defensively. So you have been a defensive liability your entire playing career. And because of it, because you've been a liability on defense, you're not helping the team. You're not somebody who is enhancing the play on the court. You're somebody who's holding everyone up. And that's a problem. For the record, we have seen LeBron James come along and try to portray he was something that he wasn't from day one. Where did that get them? In a bottle of nowhere, right? Then they bring Luka Doncic in to save your career. Luka's here to save your legacy. You have now become Scottie Pippen. You've always been a Scottie Pippen. But now you're not the face of the team. You have to learn to be a role player. But here's the thing. You always were the role player. You've already been the past. People just didn't pay attention to it. Good thing I'm here to point it all out to the people. Let me point it out to you. See, LeBron Ramon James, and I'm hearing other clowns trying to use his whole name now, just mimic everything I do. So now, LeBron Ramon James comes around and states, for the record, he goes on record and states and claims that it's Anthony Davis's team when AD comes to the team, right? In that bubble championship, in that bubble season, AD led in every category except for assists, blocks, points, rebounds. Only thing LeBron beat him in was assists. And they gave finals MVP to who? You guessed it. To let you know it was political. No one counts the bubble championship at all. It was a money grab so that they can get the money and keep the money from the sponsors. That's what it was all about. LeBron was too old 6-7 years ago. LeBron was too old 6 to 7 years ago. %. He was too old 6 to 7 years ago. See, when players get older, they have a skill set that keeps them in the game. They fall back on. Jordan got older, he couldn't slam dunk over the entire team no more. Once he couldn't dunk over the whole team and just go crazy scoring 45s and 40s, and Mike had the fadeaway. He added a calmness to his game. He was relaxed. And you know what? He was still averaging 33, 34, 35. And it's like, how did he got the same points now than when he was young? Because his game was smooth. It was all about fundamentals. He was fundamentally sound at that point. He worked on perfecting that part and element of his game so that he could fall back on it when he needed it. Kobe, over years, instead of using athleticism to beat guys to the corner, he perfected fundamentals. That was similar to Michael, except for he took shots that Michael wouldn't take from spots on the court Michael wouldn't take them from. So when Kobe made them, it was spectacular. But Jordan never was a guy that would shoot from those areas on the court. Kobe wanted to master those shots because naturally that's not what guys would shoot from. Well, you got to think about it. This is about, y'all think it's about a couple of games and LeBron be good if he rested. And y'all make all these observations. They're just not centered or surrounded by any type of truth. The truth of the matter is this: LeBron is old. and I mean older than dust when it comes to basketball. The players that come in this league are 19 to 20 years old. They run like gazelles. They have conditioning. So here's the Lakers starting lineup, too, in case you hadn't noticed. The Lakers starting lineup has been announced. The Lakers starting lineup is Aiden, Ryu Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron. Now, you tell me, who's the defender on this team? Where's he? You got Austin Reeves. He tries to play defense, but he can't help it. He's slow. You got Luka Doncic. He tries. He can't help it. He's slow. You got LeBron. He's 60,000 years old, a dinosaur relic. He can't help it. He never played D his entire career. So all of this pressure is going to be put on Aiden and Ryu Hachimura. Who they going to stop? You see? Who are they going to stop? This team is not designed to shut people down and get stops. No. This team is about to consistently pretend. We're going to pretend. Yeah, we all know that LeBron didn't come back from a 3-1 deficit. Let's stop. That was Adam Silver Slipper in the manufacturing of the league. But the Warriors still should have won a game. That would have changed the whole dynamic of history, though. Because then, do they get Kevin Durant the next year? I don't think they do. And I like that Kevin Durant went there. And they should have had a three-peat, but it was good to see Kawhi win one after they had written him off. I would love for the Clippers to win. And they win one for the Clippers, that would really be a nail in the LeBron side. That's where the NBA went left. When they didn't promote any other talent except for LeBron James. And the man was in like 8 straight NBA finals. It was ridiculous. It certainly was ridiculous. Because that's an embarrassment to your league. Well, David Stern wouldn't have had LeBron in the finals on the same team, playing against the same team 5 years in a row. You don't do that. Or 4 years in a row. 3, you're pushing. After 3, you're going to have to switch something up. Can't keep sending the same team over and over again just because LeBron is on it. Then he went to LA thinking, all right, we're going back to the finals. We got LeBron. And y'all still waiting to go back to the finals. And y'all got LeBron. Now you got to get Luka. Now you're like, okay, we're going back to the finals. I just want people to be realistic to themselves. That's all. Be realistic to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. They lost those finals because of him. He's mentally weak and he quits. You know what? Bron fears dirt. Bron fears a lot of things. He fears a steroid investigation. He fears he fears all of these things that was done in the dark that these people know about. You know what Stephen A was talking about? We'll say that to later. I'll do that later. Because everything I told you is coming true. And now everybody know it. Now, if we start looking at the rest of the world, right? And people start saying, well, let's look at the rest of the world and what it means and what it brings to the table. When we step to the forefront, we're not seeing things the way it's supposed to be. We're looking at it on the scale of, okay, where are the people that said that this was on a scale that they knew about? LeBron is GOAT going on another team. That's all he was the king of. He didn't like a situation. He going on another team. But as a basketball player, when you start thinking about Bron and what does Bron represent, now that's a whole nother passage because you're basically putting yourself on a level or a pedestal that you really don't co-sign to. You don't co-sign to LeBron being one of the greatest players of all time. If you did, then you must be delusional. Like I said, if you're born in the 2000s, I don't blame you. But if you're born prior to that, then I don't know what to tell you. Oh yeah, don't forget our fantasy football drafts in a couple hours. No, this is what I keep talking about. That analogy. Remember when he got hurt? Not the first year. The second time he hurt his ankle.
I support my brother Solomon Hill, baby. He was just out there playing defense. It ain't his fault LeBron can't move his feet.
Yeah, LeBron couldn't move his feet. And he decided, I'm not going for the ball. Then he had everybody in the media on his team go out and say, well, you can't do that early in the game. Why would you be diving for a basketball? And then Solomon Hill now is getting traded, bounced up out of the league when he was just playing basketball, all because he accidentally injured LeBron James. It's an accident that happened on a basketball court that no one talks about. But because it's LeBron James and LeBron James wanted them to pass that narrative along, he shouldn't have did that. Had AD and the rest of the team looking like clowns, running out saying something so stupid. It's too early in the game to dive for a ball. Who says some dumbass shit like that? Keep LeBron James away from the GOAT conversation. You can never have lost your confidence on a basketball court and can be considered greatest of all time. This man has lost his confidence in NBA finals. To go to the finals as many times as he did with all the advantages he had, he has come up short. He called himself the greatest player of all time on his own show. When you're great, that's for other people to say about you, not for you to say about yourself. You're trying to convince yourself you're the greatest of all time when you're not.
Look how low he is going into Steph Curry, lowering the shoulder. That is a charge, and the foul is on Steph.
Almost broke my TV.
Are you telling me I need to root for that? He got no goddamn move. He got no move. He can't do nothing. Damn king.
And there it is. And that's basically all you need to know about LeBron James. He's not somebody that's legendary. My take has not changed over the years. You know, the clip that got him so upset, it burns his heart to this day because he knows it's true.
Top 50 in your opinion?
No, he's not.
100.
Not even top 100. I could not put him over anybody. You can name a whole 1990s rosters. He's Sean Kemp. That is exactly who LeBron is. He's Sean Kemp. And he never had a post game. He never even took time to learn that. So they removed the post guy out. There's no more power forwards. No more. Like, what happened to the power forwards? Well, LeBron don't have a post game, so we don't need him anymore. In LeBron's entire career, he's never guarded the best players on the court. Never. Not even early in his career. He would always guard the weakest player in the league. When they played in the finals against Dallas, he's guarding Jason Kidd, who's 40. I'm like, you just been getting by with your athleticism. They start to change the rules for you because you can't get by anybody anymore. All you do is offensive foul people now and take 5 steps to the basket. You can't play off the ball. That means you can't play basketball. Whatever the play is, he blows it up immediately. He gets the ball and runs out to the half court line, gets a running start, and comes back in. I'm like, why is he leaving the paint? Everything they taught you about basketball goes out the window when you playing him. Don't lower the shoulder. That's exactly what he gonna do. He gonna lower his shoulder. He be almost halfway over driving Steph Curry into the ground. He play a 4 out. That's the only play he runs on offense, a 4 out. Or he'll call a high pick and roll. Guy come over and get a pick so he can get a little point guard on him. Okay, that's good. I can get by him. And he's like, I'm the GOAT now. I think I'm up there with Jordan. I'm be like, where? In what? Checkers, chess, video game, Madden, NBA 2K, what? Definitely not basketball.
And that hurts. That hurts his pride. And the reason it hurts his pride is because he knows it's true. You see, when you say things that is truthful and people see that it's truthful, it hurts their pride. Everything about it, it hurts them straight to the core. They can't take it. And see, that's one thing about me. People said, I ran into a guy from the city. He was like, man, you've been talking this Pistons stuff since the 80s, B. I remember you. I was like, that's right. Bad boys. I didn't change. Everybody's like, you got to learn to lighten up and change. I'm like, change for what? Change to this? No way. I refuse to be going along with the decadent eras. What I'm going to do? Walk around with holes in my jeans? Too old for that. Now, the people that's doing that and they're young, I ain't mad at you. That's the style. That's y'all era. Y'all living in. That's what's up. Y'all rock what y'all rock. But that ain't what I rock. Mm-hmm. You're going to constantly see people make different turns. You're going to constantly see people go against the commonality of what's real and what isn't.
If he played in the 80s and 90s, LeBron James would be a CBA player. He's nobody but Sean King. Let's go through the facts. Footwork. He has no footwork. His footwork is terrible. Can't dribble. He lowers his shoulders and run over people. That's an offensive foul. It's just uncalled. Jump shot is terrible. Can't shoot threes. Free throws. He can't shoot free throws. He don't play no damn defense. So can somebody please explain that story to me? How the hell would he be on the number one list?
How would he be on the number one list? And he's got question marks by everything that a player should have. People was mad I had Shaq at number 95 on my all-time 100 list. And I'm like, he's lucky to be on the list. He is lucky to be on the list. Mm-hmm. Shaq personality is cool. He's just a jealous man. And that's why he couldn't get along with Penny. Penny don't even talk. How you can't get along with Penny Hardaway? Penny don't talk. But he was just a hater. Now he went on a whole apology tour because now man, I'm sorry, man. I should have stayed in Orlando. We'd have won 6. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Nobody has been swept more than Shaquille O'Neal. He started his playoff career off with 3 straight sweeps, getting swept. Don't even win a game. How could you be put in that category? It don't make sense. So how much he got left? That's yet to remain to be seen. Could he stay healthy for the season? See, all of these things that you got here, the team is now trying to construct themselves to exist even if you don't play. They could still win games because they have it in their mind. LeBron ain't going to have it all for the season, and he's not going to be enough to seal the deal. Now, the first game of the season that Michael Jordan is covering is, well, guess what? The Lakers and the Warriors. Ooh, let's start the season off right. NBC is starting the same old routine, but they're going to do their marketing pull to this. Then you got the defending champions, OKC Thunder, going against the Houston Rockets to see where they measure up to start off the new season. So that's the doubleheader. So Michael Jordan is going to do his first LeBron James game. Well, it's hard to say because other people make excuses rather than to go out and produce. They make excuses rather than to go out and do the work. No, I didn't see it that way. I see it as something essential. See, if you mention LeBron Ramon James' name in the category of greatest players of all time, that should come with a sense of responsibility. That should come with a stamp of approval. That should come with, hey, I know this guy. I vibe with this dude. This guy's a real upstanding citizen. He he's everything they say he is. He's the genuine article. You can't say that. Young folks was going back watching Michael Jordan highlights from the 80s, going, this is Michael Jordan? I was used to watching fadeaway Jordan. I didn't know Jordan could do all that. Man, he was dunking way better than LeBron. And I'm like, see, ta-da! Jordan was more athletic than LeBron ever was. LeBron couldn't do no reverse layups like Jordan. He did not have paws in the air like that. He could jump in the air real high, but he had no style to his game. It was just power. Cock back, windmill dunk. That's why he won in the dunk contest. He don't have the creativity to be in a dunk contest. What creative move do he have? He doesn't possess any. He's a limited professional athlete. And he's been like this his entire career. It's just that others didn't take exception to it till later. There's only so much you could do. Well, when you're in this game, there's only so much you can do, right? And I mean, it's only so much you can do before it starts to get to you and pick at you, mess with your metabolism, your system. Everything that you got going that's working for you is destroyed. Nobody's your friends anymore. As you can see right now, LeBron's power was his control of the media and the handprint he had on. Now it's slipped. Now people has gotten themselves in power, and LeBron can't manipulate anymore the way he used to. And now Stephen A. Smith is out the game. You know, they was trying to have him, LeBron was trying to remove him from the NBA finals completely and come after his job. So over this Bronny James thing. This is why Stephen A is so upset. But it's everything I told you that was happening behind the scenes now getting confirmed. And he was even more than that. But we're going to get into that. Because this isn't done by far with Stephen A and LeBron. You see, Stephen A gets to go around and make these assertions about LeBron James because he has the platform to do so. So LeBron will pay attention to it, even when they try to come in and sabotage everything that he's created. They didn't want it. A lot of people saw the situation that was going on and they didn't like it. They didn't want it. They want nothing to do with it. It is not a mystery of what's happening with LeBron. How many minutes you think he's gonna give you on the court? Hmm? How many minutes you think LeBron Ramon James is gonna give you on the court? 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Hmm? How many minutes do you think you're gonna get? Not many. Well, at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out, but we know the realities of it. LeBron hasn't really been the number one option on the team, and since he got injured when he twisted his ankle, and he wasn't even then. It was Anthony Davis. The moment Anthony Davis came to the team, LeBron was no longer the number one guy. AD led the team in rebounds and scoring and blocks. He dominated the statistical categories when he played. It was like AD injury prone. He was injury prone when you got him. When you got Anthony Davis, he was injury prone. Then he came to the Lakers and was injury prone. He's in Dallas. He's missed more games than he's played. Gets hurt. Why would anyone be surprised when AD gets hurt? But when he did play, he's the number one option over LeBron. Well, he should be. Well, he was. LeBron has never outplayed Anthony Davis in a playoff series. Only if AD was out. But when they're both on that court, AD controls the show. If LeBron could just get him 27, 4, and 9, scoring 27 points a game or 24 points, which in LeBron's game, that's very low in today's up-tempo style of play. 20-some points a game average would be great if you played in the 80s and 90s, where games were like 92 to 88. When Jordan beat Utah, the final score was what? 92 to 91. They wouldn't even crack 100 points. Now, the tempo and scoring is all turned up, and the defense is turned down. So whoever get the defensive stops, those are the teams that's going to win. The Lakers team is designed to win by 20 or lose by 20 because they can't stop anyone. And in this era, you can have a 20-year-old with lack of experience scoring numerous amount of points. All because not because of talent level, all because they physically can't defend. So now they're going to let the Lakers whoop up on the Warriors on national TV, keep trying to put a nail in Steph Curry's coffin when it should have been the other way around. I'm like, why would you want to destroy what was selling your league, what saves your league? If it wasn't for Steph Curry, the NBA would be near bankruptcy right now. Golden State Warriors saved the NBA because it was at an all-time low. I mean, an all-time low before the Warriors got in there. The Spurs whooping on Miami, that finals in 2014 was the lowest, one of the lowest rated finals. And this is the face of your league. Every time he's in the finals, he's in some of the lowest rated finals in NBA history from his first time in the NBA finals against the Spurs. To come back to play the Spurs again with Miami, that was low rated. The one before that in 2013 was low rated. OKC did better than that. Only the Dallas and Miami series did better or did well. After that, died off. If it wasn't for Steph Curry coming and becoming the phenom the Warriors were, Splash Brothers, that's the only time LeBron has done numbers in the NBA final. So we could tell who was doing the numbers. Well, I think he's done. I really do. I mean, LeBron could average 20-something points a game. I mean, they got the magnet ball now. But how much can you push this wagon and pull it? How could he stop somebody driving to the lane? No. I don't think they'll let Steph get 5. He might get it towards the end of his career. He deserves to retire a Warrior and play with one team for his entire career. But it's amazing how the Warriors have less than all of these teams. All of the NBA teams started to play like the Golden State Warriors and mimic their entire offense, everything they do, rotations, all of their double action screens or split action left, split action right, resets, guys ahead. You got to have the right personnel. Everybody on your team, you could know what everybody does. You think they don't watch tape and go back and look at the game and see what happened and see what they were running? They do that every night. Phil Jackson is the master of stealing plays. He used to steal plays. He would steal other people's signals, yell out whatever play there is, and tell his assistant coach, hey, they're running a new play. Watch it. Remember it. So that they could steal the play. He did that with Detroit all the time. It says, hey, they're running a play. Remember that. They're running another one. It's called 2-2-1 or boards. They're running boards. Write that down. Boards. Remember the play. That's their job, is to watch what's going on the other side. Phil Jackson, that was his strategy. He was a hack. He ran plays and he knew how to construct an offense, but other than that, he was a hack. That's why no real coaches respected Phil. He wasn't the gritty nose coach. He wanted to be the Zen master. Just clear your mind. And you can win the championship. No. You had the horses to win the championship. It's like, look, he got Jordan and Pippen in when they were at the cusp of winning a championship. Now that was unlike Kerr. Kerr got the team when they were on their way too. Everybody saw the Warriors was coming in 2014. The world was put on notice. And in 2015, here comes Steve Kerr. Oh yeah, I've been walking out here for over an hour. I do need a good chocolate shake. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, you know what it is. We'll talk about the Stephen A. Smith thing later. You guys should see what's going on the Patreon. We got Nas, AZ, and Prodigy. That beef that went on over there. That situation with that record they supposedly had. So we got that on the Patreon. We got a whole lot of stuff. The Charlie Murphy thing with Bobby Brown. Yeah. And his family and the Murphy family. Then we will come back and talk about Stephen A. Smith's appearance on that Nutcase show and what happened over there. So LeBron James, it's all a matter of who we like, what we like, and how we like it. And so far, it's at a level now where it's at its end. So thank y'all for the super chat, cash apps, everything. We are out. Deuces.